I'd like to begin with the facts, whether in a small town like McAllen and the Rio Grande, or in Chicago, New York, or Los Angeles. It is business. Big business.
Welcome to the GirlGetVisible Podcast. This show talks about traffic, marketing, and business. This is for the retailers, the coaches, the course creators, and service providers who want to build a legacy, build authority, and build a brand that people admire. The visible girls who are not afraid to get out of the sea of sameness and to find her tribe. Business owners ready to go from consumers to creators and build an online presence where your tribe can find you. We talk about topics like SEO, content marketing, and business systems, but that's only because our visible girls are ready to do business like a business. Stop hiding in the crowd and get visible.
Girl, get visible. Girl, get visible. Girl, get visible. Girl, get visible.
Hey guys, how are you doing? So I decided to come on, I think I'm on Facebook today, and do another live episode. And I say another because if you've been on my YouTube channel, you know I've been doing some of my podcast episodes live and of course recording for the podcast. And today I got some visuals, so I wanted to do it live, and of course it'll end up on YouTube too. And those who are listening, I'll talk you through it. Don't worry, podcasters. I got you. So I want to talk about this because I think as we're going into the new year, we just wrapped up Black Friday, and we need to start, we're probably starting to think about, and we need to start thinking about, if we're not, getting our tools and systems in order, right? And some of these deals, like another reason why I want to do this live, is some of the tools I'm going to talk about have deals that are still going on today. I don't even think I have. I'm not even doing affiliate links, right? So it's not an affiliate thing, but it's good tools to use. And I want you guys to save. Like for me, Black Friday is the time of year when I rack up on the tools that I need and I'm going to use for the year for two reasons. One, because I know it's the best deal I'm going to get all year, right? And two, because I know I'm going to take down my overhead. The one thing you can always save on is if you stop using a tool or you get that tool for less, right? So I'll buy the annual deals around this time of year. And three, it's a little bit of a tax write-off. I'm not the tax pro, but I'm going to tell you it's a little bit of a tax write-off, right? Let me know if you guys want me to have a tax pro on the show, right? If we need that kind of help before the end of the year, right? And so also it's the time of year, you may not have as many clients going on. You may not have as many launches or workshops going on. This is a good time of year to get your systems in order, right? Get like, what tools am I going to use? What am I going to be working with? It's funny. I was talking to one of my coaching clients earlier, and we were looking at AppSumo deals. We love a good AppSumo deal around here. And, the conversation was really like, what do I really need? I feel like I got a lot of things in order. Like I built up a lot of things, I'm kind of just running, which is the point you want your business to get, right? We should not always be building. At some point in time, you should get to running and refining, right? The other R's. We spend a lot of time building our businesses, but we need to get to running and refining. And some of that is, what are the things I'm doing now that I can possibly find a tool to get or find a person to get to do? And, those kind of things. And we'll be able to talk about that a lot here in the month of December, probably going in a little bit to January too, because I got some episodes on things that are going to help you to like run and manage your business better. And this is one of them, right? And a little out of order from my other episodes because I'm throwing this in because I wanted to, right? But as I was seeing the different deals fly, and I know repurposing is going to become a big thing, right? It's funny because I just listened to Amy Porterfield's episode, her recent episode. And no shade to Amy in this. I'm going to tell you guys that now, right? Don't come for me, right? I like Amy's show. I was listening, right? But she was talking about making more video, right? And how video is becoming a lot more important in our marketing. So if you don't have video as part of your content creation marketing strategy, 2021, you are going to need to get those things, right? It's not going to be an option of whether or not you are going to need video or whether or not you can use video, staying off video. And I'm going to talk about a couple ways you can stay off video, but not having video is not going to be an option with so many platforms going to giving preference to video. So we got, what's the thing? Instagram giving preference to video. Facebook gives preference to video. TikTok is a thing now, right? It's a real thing, right? All of these things that are calling for video content and video attention, it is going to be more and more that we need to do, and we need to get some videos popping. Hence, I'm doing a lot of these episodes live because guess what it does, guys? It creates videos, right? And I'm going to show you today. So she was talking about videos. It's actually a pretty decent episode. I recommend listening to it. But one of the things that I did not hear her mention, and I'll admit I missed like the last 10 minutes. So if she mentioned at the end, get me, right? But she didn't go deep enough into, because if she mentioned at the end, then that means it was the end. But she did not talk about repurposing, right? How do we make this video content plus the blog content plus the podcast content, how do we make all of this stuff so much easier for us? And so I thought this episode would be a good one to slide in there and help you guys, as like I said, as you're getting your systems and your things together for the new year. And anytime you listen to this, you need this, right? I figure I show you guys what are 5 of the tools that we use in my business to help us to repurpose content. So I brag all the time about my team and how amazing my team is and the things that they do. And so this is one of the things that, again, they do and we're amazing at, because I create video content like this. I create long form podcasts, YouTube videos. I create form content like this, right? And then we're able to take that, and I say we because I do some of them, my team does some of them, anyone can do some of them, right? But we're able to take that and now make it into smaller pieces of content for all of these social platforms that are like begging for our attention. So literally, if you're spending the time to create the long form content, I always like starting with long form first because it's much easier to do a 30-minute video or even a 15-minute video and break that up into 5 and 10 clips. It's much easier to do that than it is to take 5 or 10 clips and try to make it into a 15-minute video. You guys know what I mean, right? And most of the platforms like TikTok, we're talking about 7 to 15 minutes, maybe a little bit more. YouTube, you probably could do a good, that's where I actually put most of the long form stuff. You could do 15 to 30 minutes on there. Instagram, while you can do Instagram TV and you can go longer, the better performing content, right? I know a lot of you guys are going live on there, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute, right? But a lot of you guys are going live on there, going live here on Facebook, but the better performing content is really only about 60 seconds long, right? And really you want to get it into a reel. So you really want to think about 15 to 60 seconds, because even though you're going live, how many people are watching those full live replays? Probably not as many, right? Even if you can cut that 15 minutes up into like 2 to 3 minutes, you're going to be doing better than you probably are right now. Just going to be honest, right? So, and I'm actually, since I'm on Facebook and I'm here, I'm going to share this out really quick. I only did this on my business page. I'm not doing my personal page. So I'm going to share, right? So you guys can see it too. Make it really easy. All right, thought it was quick and easy. Never happens the way you want it to. All right, put it in there. I'm putting it here and there and there. I got a couple of places, right? And there too. All right, cool. Right. So getting into what are the 5 tools we've been using to repurpose our video content, right? And I got an honorable mention too. So it's not just a little over 5 tools, but gonna go through these tools, gonna tell you how we're using them. We're actually doing a full training. So if you're my membership members, don't worry. We are doing a full training on this in December. So I'm gonna go deep into these tools. But for this episode, I wanted to at least share what are some of the tools that we're looking into. And if you join the membership, there'll be a full training on how to use them. So let me go into the first one, the one I'm actually using right now for this particular video, right? First one I've used is StreamYard. I love StreamYard, as you guys can see, because I'm using it, right? And if you get it today, I don't know how long the sale is going to last, but if you get it today, they got a Black Friday sale for $10 a month, right? So for $10 a month, here's how I use StreamYard. And I have another a YouTube video on how I use it to make my podcast episodes, right? So that's one. I use it now for podcasting. I got my fancy mic right here, and I use this to do a lot of the podcasting and to keep my editing way down, right? So you'll hear the intro and the outro because we're using StreamYard. I also use it for things where I'm bringing on like my members, or if I'm going to do, and actually you can podcast with the guests, so you can bring on guests. Like I love StreamYard, and because you can repurpose it, meaning I can stream to multiple places. I usually stream to either Facebook or to YouTube, but they have a couple of other options. Instagram's not one of them, so I'm going to tell you guys that now, right? And then you can download the video and download the audio, right? So now you can download both of those and make little clips out of those. So that is the first one. I'm actually using the first two right now. So I'm going to tell you guys how I'm using it, right? So that is the first one. First one that I absolutely love is using StreamYard. Let me point to where this thing is. StreamYard, which, like I said, I'm using right now to talk to you guys, right? Second tool, make sure my finger's in the right place. Boop, right? Second tool is Canva. Now, we all know and love Canva. You're probably already using Canva for graphics, but I want y'all to head over to Canva's video section. Canva has really upped their game. I just realized I missed one that's on this list. I'm going to just tell you guys about it, right? Canva has really upped their game in the video area. Like, so one of the things I'm doing, which I'm doing right now, these little things here, so these little graphic things that I am showing you guys with the logo and things, I made these as slides in Canva. And I just uploaded them into StreamYard, and StreamYard has like an overlay thing, and I just overlay as I'm talking about them, right? So it's really easy to make those super pro looking videos with literally Canva and StreamYard, right there. If that's not tip number one, I don't know what to tell you, right? But Canva also has done a lot with slides. Now you can do slides. Now you can put in video clips. If you have other video clips, now you can trim the videos. Anyone who participated in my challenge, I use Canva a little bit for the intro videos. They've really upped their game in that video area, and I think they're going to continue to do that. Also, and I have Canva Pro, so I do have the paid version. It's worth it, y'all, right? And they might have a deal going too. I didn't look because I'm already a client, but they may have a deal going too. But also you can use Canva now. Like if you do something with a little bit of text and photos and stuff using their animation, you can make a little slideshow thing. I just did a reel for Black Friday, and all I did was do a couple of slides about my Black Friday deal and turned it into, and used the animation on each one, turned it into a video and posted it up on my reels. So you guys go to my reels or my TikTok and you can see it because I put it in both places. So it can really be that simple to get your information out there without even putting your face out there, right? And getting a video, because I know that TikTok and reels, that TikTok video, I did it, Saturday, I think I did that TikTok video. It's already, and my TikTok numbers aren't super high, so this is high for me, right? It's already got about 300 views on something I didn't have to even show my face. I'll take it, right? Then the next tool I'm going to go into, I almost want to write this down because I'm going to forget to mention this other one, and it's free. So I need to make sure I say that out loud, right? Next one is Headliner. Headliner is one that a lot of people use it, but a lot of people don't know that other people are using it, which is kind of weird because I hear people ask all the time, how do you do this thing for podcasts? But people don't seem to know about Headliner. So Headliner is one of those apps that make those little wavy picture things. If you go on my Instagram, you'll see that we take our podcast art and we'll put the waves in like a 1-minute clip of what the person is saying. We're using Headliner to do that, right? And so with Headliner, we can do that. So we can do some really nice graphics for our podcast, my podcasters check out Headliner if you're not already. Also, we can do a lot of really nice quote graphics, or even it doesn't have to be a podcast. You can do, like, I can take a clip of this video, or I can do a quick voiceover on my phone and do the transcript and let just the words come up, right? I've seen a lot of people do that with just the words coming up. They're using Headliner, right? So even if you don't want to, and does it have an actual voice? I don't know if you can take blog post and it'll make the voice for you. I think it does. Check that out. I'm not sure, but I'm going to tell you these other two things that you can do with it is quite enough, right? Just by taking your videos, you can put videos on there and have the little bar. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? The little up and down bar. The little up and down bar, little waves, audio waves. That's what they're called. They're called audiograms, but you can use it for audiograms. You can use it for quote audiograms with the little quotes. I think you can also use it for voiceover audiograms, but it's a good way to turn your audio into video. So Headliner, that is number 3 tool that I'm giving you guys. All right. Next one is Video Shop. This is another like little gem that I don't hear enough people talking about it, but I love it, right? I've been using Video Shop actually for years, right? Not as much because I wasn't doing as many videos, but now that I'm trying this TikTok thing, and I can't tell you my TikTok Reels thing is going good, but I can tell you that I'm making a lot easier by using Video Shop, right? So Video Shop is an app. It's a phone app, and I hear there's a desktop version. I use it on the phone, so I'm going to stick with that. I got an iPhone, but it's a phone app that you can take multiple videos. You could take pictures. You could take things and put them together. You can add some words to it, some transitions to it. You can even, if any of you guys remember the TikTok video I did where I said, like, I sped up my voice and then I slowed it down. I actually use Video Shop for that. It has been, for me, I know a lot of people use InShop. I'm not a fan. I'm not. Right? Especially since, and it has a really good, robust free version, right? So I feel like InShot, whatever it's called, that you gotta really have more money, right? And not a lot, but you still gotta like buy more things in order to get it to really work. Video Shop, you can get it to really work very well without having a lot of not a lot of like the in-app buy-ins and stuff like that. It works really well out the box, right? And it's quick and easy because you can put the videos in, it'll line them up. You can trim each video as you want. You can put, I don't put the sounds in on the thing, but if you wanted to, you can put the sounds in on the video. I put the sounds in once I get it into either Instagram or to TikTok. You'll sometimes see, and that's a whole nother story about how and why I do that, but you'll sometimes see I'll use the same video with one sound on Instagram and other sound on TikTok. I'll let my Instagram and TikTok pros tell you why I do that, but you can do that with the with Video Shop. So you can make one video and mostly silent and use it however you want. You could do transitions, which I think are pretty nice, and the words. That's how I really started using it, is because one of the things I was really frustrated is that I could not figure out, other than in TikTok, I could not figure out how to put the words, like these words appear here and these words appear there. You know, everybody does the dancing, pointing. I don't do those, but if I wanted to do them, right? If I wanted to do the dancing, pointing, I sure would use Video Shop, right? Hey, Mo, how you doing? I just saw Mo just joined. So the next one that we are looking at, I gotta keep switching these things, right? This is one that we recently started using. I got it as an AppSumo deal, which is over right now, but y'all know how AppSumo is. It's coming back, right? And I would not be surprised if it did not come back this month. But even if it doesn't, get whatever their freemium version plan, because it's pretty dope. This one is called Pictory. And here's why this is dope, right? And pretty amazing. Pictory is good because you can upload a full thing. So like I said, you could take a 30-minute piece of content. So we can take these videos, upload them into Pictory, and instead of having to listen to the whole video again, you can read the text. So say if my team wanted to make a video for each one of these that I talk about, they could read when I say Pictory, and they can highlight just that piece of text where I talk about Pictory, and then take everything else away, and it'll create a video of just that clip of when I talked about Pictory. And you can make little clips from any big piece of content, right? So I also think it does a voiceover thing. I don't really use when like write the text type of voiceovers too much, as you guys can tell. Right? I prefer to be on video, which is why I'm here. And then once I'm on video, then we go and we take it and do other things with it, right? Even if, like, I got some videos y'all don't see because I don't look that great, right? I got one video where literally the camera's against the wall, but I'm making the audio for it, right? Which is what's really important to me. So that is another one. Pictory, I really like it. We've just started using that in the last couple of months, but it's doing enough that I can now recommend it to you guys. Pictory is another one. One more that I don't have a little picture for, so I'm just going to take it down, right? I don't have a little picture for it because I completely forgot when I was making my list, but this one's super important, is Lumen 5. And that one is actually free today if you go on AppSumo. So Lumen 5 is another one I've been using for years, and I'd actually stopped using it, and now I'm getting back into using it again. This is a video, this is two things it does, a lot of things it does, but two really big things we use it for. You can make little videos with like slides and pictures and words and stuff without having to do actual video. It's another one of those. Or if you have little clips, you can use that. If anyone's done my challenges, you know, in the beginning, I have that little intro video. I told you guys part of that is done in Canva. The other part, the big part, that's really like the cinematography looking part, all of that is done in Lumen. What I did was take some words that I wanted to say, put them into Lumen. Lumen actually helps me find some pictures, or you can upload pictures. I do a combination of both. And then I do each slide. So you set it up like slides, put some music overlay, and Lumen now makes a complete video. Lumen can also take one of my blog posts. So this is one of the very few tools that I'm talking about today that will actually take a blog post and turn that blog post into a pretty good video for you too. So yeah, so what it'll do is take your blog post, put the words, pictures, and come up with a video for you. So you can actually, for every one of your blog posts, you can make a nice little video. It does not do the voiceover text thing. You'd have to voice it over if you wanted to read it, but at least people can read and see like the pictures and the words and a little bit of music, like a little bit of royalty-free music. It's another one, pretty dope tool, right? And then what I did, like for my challenge intro, you can do some of the stuff in Lumen, right? So I did the whole fancy dancy video in Lumen, and then I brought it over to Canva and I added on clips of my testimonials, right? Which I could have put them in Lumen, but I decided I knew Canva enough to do that. So let me just take that over there, right? So you can definitely do that and make some really, really nice, really video clips without having to. And it's one of those ones, again, you don't have to be on camera. You can even use like photos, like they call them B-roll, where it's just like photos of you moving around and photos of you walking and, you know, drone videos, if you have them, right? You can use all that stuff in Lumen and make some really nice videos. And you can develop like templates to do it over and over and over again. Another thing I really like, right? So those are my 6, since like I said, I forgot one when I made my list of 5, but I've got one honorable mention that I wanted to bring up because a lot of people ask me, how do you actually do video? Like, how do you edit your videos and edit your things? And it's also how I edit my show. I actually, like podcast, I actually, when I do have editing to do, and I'm not doing it in StreamYard, or if I just got a bunch of stuff I don't want part of the episode, I'll bring my stuff into Camtasia. That's who I normally use, right? But Camtasia's got some stuff with him. It's still a little old and clunky, I'm not gonna lie. You gotta have it on desktop. It's a little bit pricey, and so a lot of people don't like Camtasia. So in comes, make sure my finger's in the right place, right? In comes Filmora, right? So Filmora is my honorable mention because another one I've not used in a while, but I'm getting back into Filmora as I'm getting back into doing more video. Here's the reason why. Filmora I like because it has a lot of nice, I'm breaking stuff, guys. It has a lot of nice transitions and like the lower thirds that you see down here. This is called a lower third where the name is at the bottom. It can do lower thirds. It is, to me, very similar to iMovie. But for folks like me who don't have a Mac, I have a PC, so I don't have a Mac. Filmora is a really good, like, it could do little bursts and things. You could buy packs to do other things. I've done over the years some really nice videos. I did memorial videos using Filmora because it's just so much stuff, like slideshows. You can do slide. I'm always into things that you can make videos out of slides, right? As you can tell, because sometimes, like I said, we just don't want to be on camera, right? But we got little maybe outtakes. We got a lot of pictures that look good. We got enough pictures that if you put them real close to each other, they look like a movie. We've got all of those things. And so tools like Filmora, a lot of these tools that I've talked about, but tools like Filmora is one of them that you can really take that and make it into something special and make it into something with video, right? So Filmora is making a comeback, right, in my life. And I'll tell you, like I said, Filmora I didn't use for a while. Lumen I didn't use for a while. And the reason why isn't because of the tools. It's really because I wasn't doing that much video. I didn't need that much video. So I just wasn't doing that much video. But now that we need more video, right? Like, this world ain't gonna let us get away without it, right? Nothing we can do, right? As things change, marketing changes, we need to be open to change, right? And so the world's not going to let us get away without doing video. We've got to figure out ways to do video easier and do video better and maybe have a little bit of fun with it, right? Or turn it over to our team. So we need things that are easy for our teams to use, right? But we got to figure out a way to make it happen. It's just no longer can we not make it happen. So that's why some of these tools that I really haven't been using a lot, not because the tools weren't great, but because I didn't have a need. And now that I have a need, it's time to dust it off, right? And get back to basics with some of these tools. So for those who are just listening, joining, whatever, I'm going to just run through the list one more quick time. If there are any questions for those who are here live, throw them in the comments. I'm going to go over there and try to see them. I can see them. Okay, cool. But if you do have questions, throw it in the comments. If you are listening to this on the podcast or on YouTube and you're like, I got questions, throw them in the comments or throw them on the, you can send them to us on Instagram and, you know, I'm happy to chat about it or do a follow-up. If you like things like this, if you want to know more about the tools that I've been using in my business, because I'm a tools girl. I'm going to say it's because my IT background, I'm happy to get a new tool, right? But I'm also one who wants to make sure that my tools make sense and not have a bunch of tools doing a bunch of things. So that's why I like pared this list down. There are lots of video tools out there. I'm not gonna lie. I am not reviewing all of them. I'm not gonna lie, right? I'm giving you the ones that make sense, that work for me, right? So let me go back through. And I swear, I love this whole branding part of StreamYard. I told you guys we're in StreamYard right now, right? So if you like what's going on here in this video, StreamYard, right? So first one on the list, like I said, was StreamYard that I just keep gushing about, right? First one, StreamYard. The second one, I want you guys to get into the video side of Canva. A lot of us use it for graphic design. You might do some quick posts in social media. Canva is upping their game and they're continuing to grow, which I always love a tool that keeps growing because the more it grows, the more use I can get out of it, which means I can knock out some other tools, right? So like some things that I probably would have had to always do in Camtasia, I don't need to do anymore because I can do them right in Canva. And the rendering time is so Camtasia sometimes it can take a day to do some things. I'm not gonna lie. My Camtasia is clunky, right? Take a day for a video to process. Canva, I can boom, 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 and be done with it, right? It's not that quick, but it's quicker, a lot quicker, like 10, 15 minutes compared to an hour or 3, right? So Canva, definitely get into that. Headliner, I love Headliner at this point. I can't tell you, I think, here's my prediction, right, for 2022. I think Headliner might be knocked out the box by either Canva or probably, I don't know about Filmora, but either Canva or Lumen, because both of those tools are just there. The thing that Headliner has right now is that audiogram thing, right? If they can get that audiogram thing in Canva, Headliner is, well, I do like the transcript thing that it does, but let me tell y'all. So until they do that, Headliner is definitely a good one, right? Until they get that little piece, that little piece in there for us, then we need to stick with Headliner. It's fairly, and all these tools are fairly cheap. Like I'm talking about between $10 and $25, even if you don't get the Black Friday deal, right? Like Lumen, I want y'all to head over there right now if you watch me live, because Lumen on AppSumo is free for a year, and it's a year. How much can you do in a year, right? So that one is definitely run over there and get that. StreamYard is $10 right now per month. I only pay 15, I think 15 or 25. I don't even know, but cheap, right? So all these tools, these aren't even $100, $200 tools. These are pretty inexpensive tools. And if you're thinking, well, but Killer, you add all 5 up. I know. You might only need 1 or 2, right? Any one of these can stand alone and help you create and repurpose and make really dope video content, right? So back to my list. Number 4, like I mentioned, was Video Shop. This is the one that, and I use the free version of this. This is the one that I use to make some quick TikTok videos and editing, everything that I do for my TikTok videos, do right in here, right? And then the next one is Pictory. If you weren't going to get one of them, unless you're doing like me and making like a lot of video content, and you don't want to like use something else to break it up, or you want to save time, this is more of a time saver, right? Yes, you can do break up your videos in some of these other tools. You can actually use Canva now, because now that Canva allows you to trim a video, that's game changer. Because you can put in a whole video, you can just trim it down to the parts that you want, and boom, you're done. Right? So Pictory is more of, I would say it's more of a time saver, because you can just read through as opposed to having to watch the whole video. It's also good if you've got a team doing it, because now they can kind of see the parts, or you can even say, you know, when I talk about this, and then they can just go in and read it and do it, right? So it's more of a time saver. If you were not going to get one of these, I probably would say Pictory, even though I still love Pictory, right? I still think it's a really good thing, especially if it comes up for another AppSumo deal. And then the one with no logo, Lumen 5, I definitely think that is worth it. And like I said, get it for free if you can. Definitely think that's worth it, because that's one that's going to take your text that you're not even on video and turn it into something, which is important, right? Because sometimes we just don't want to be on camera, and that's okay, right? That does not mean we get to avoid the video revolution. Apparently, it's coming whether we get on camera or not, and so we need to do things to get us on camera. And then the honorable mention, like I said, just for overall video editing, not just repurposing, but just for overall good video editing. If you don't have iMovie, if you don't have a Mac, like I don't have a Mac, and you don't want to deal with Camtasia, Filmora is another really, really good one. So that is it for today's episodes. Hopefully this was super helpful for you guys. Like I said, if you have questions, I'll hop over here, check live again. If you have questions, drop them either in the comments or drop them, just, message us on Instagram. When we put this up on Instagram, you'll see it. Drop that in the comments there too. Happy to answer them. Happy to introduce you guys to some tools that are going to help make your business and your life a lot easier. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. See you in the next episode.
It is business. Big business.
Thanks for listening to the GirlGetVisible Podcast. I hope you've learned a lot about how to get your brand out of sameness and start to get visible. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review the show, and let us know how much you enjoyed it and what you've learned from this episode of the GirlGetVisible Podcast. I'll see you in the next episode.
Get visible.